There we go. We got it right that time.
Awesome.
Good to see everybody. Hope everybody's having an
Who
amazing,
is the tech
amazing
person?
Sunday. I'm telling you,
My
boy, you need to
Lord.
get rid of these people. I'm Bishop
Who
George
is the
Johnson
tech
Jr.
person?
This is my beautiful wife, Dr. Kimberly Johnson. We're so excited to be with you guys tonight to share some wonderful insights with you guys.
That's
we
right.
believe that God has called your marriage to win and walk in victory. That's why we do these sessions to teach you guys how to walk in victory. We had to run the promo twice because we have, here it is, a conference coming up. There it is right there on your screen. Revive. It will be December the 14th. December the 14th. I'm telling you, it's going to be absolutely amazing. I'm excited about it. I hope you guys are excited about it. We're going to be focusing on 4 areas of your life. We're going to be focusing on how to revive your mind in your life. My brother Jonathan is going to be ministering on that. And then my guys, I'm so excited about this. My son, he's going to join us and he's going to be talking about how to revive something. This is going to be his first. We're launching him into the work that we do.
Oh, excellent.
So I'm excited about that. He'll be ministering.
You want to take the flyer down? So
I still want to look at the flyer while we're talking about it. And then my brothers, my brother and my sister, they're going to be ministering on how to revive your marriage. My wife is going to be talking about how to revive your life. And then I'm going to be talking about how to revive your dream. It's going to be an amazing conference, Kim. I'm really excited. I'm excited. About it, guys.
Are you excited?
I am excited about it.
December Have you registered yet?
Make sure you register.
Make sure you register
for it. Because the seating is limited. It is limited. We want
to make sure that everything is under decency and in order. So we got to have our numbers and know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. Guys, one more announcement before we get started. Here it is. We're at 259 today. Ooh. So we're almost at our goal of an army of 300. That's why we use that theme right there. I believe we can hit that by the end of the year. We're at an army of 300. You can help us reach this goal. All you have to do is go to our YouTube, Success Nation Network, and just simply subscribe. Click the little button and subscribe, and also like the video, and you'll be a part of the army of 300. Please be a part of that. Let's answer some questions. Let's just Daniel respond. Hey, Daniel. Next thing he's ready for the word. He said, sign up, you got. And also Daniel and Kendall, they'll be sharing a little at the conference as well.
Exactly.
We're believing that this year we're going to launch our entire family into the work that we do. So, guys, we want you guys to please come out and be a part of it. You ready for the word, Kim?
What if I was like, well, yeah.
I'm ready for it, too. Let's go to Pillow Conversations. All right, guys, this is Pillow Conversations. These are conversations my wife and I, we just have
just random conversations
that we talk about. And so I wanted to talk about something that I think is near and dear to everyone's heart, and that is sharing the responsibility.
Okay.
And that's what we was kind of talking about, Kim and I was kind of talking about before we got on today, because we had shot one live video talking about, we was both doing dinner together. How important is that, sharing the responsibilities in the house?
I think it's important. I think it's important in terms of, I've always believed that we're a team. And in any relationship, you're a team. And so whatever that looks like to keep the family, the unit, the home moving forward. Right. And I think it shifts based on sometimes the seasons that we're in, what's going on. But we should work together to walk out this thing called life and to walk out what God has called us to do. So I think you should share. It shouldn't be one person just kick their legs up and the other person is just running from kink to kink.
I thought that was funny because it was a guy. He was married to a doctor, and the lady had been running. She'd been doing her errands all day in the hospital, and so she got home. I think it was like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and the guy was mad. He was like, "You didn't cook dinner." Now she had been working. He had been at home all day. She had been working all day, and he was like literally upset. So I think it's important, that you share, and I think it's important that you come up with a list of things that you share.
You a list that you share, have an understanding. And like I said, I think that could shift. Everybody brings something to the table.
Yeah.
And so what are we doing? And I referred to this in one other broadcast, but I really enjoyed listening to Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown. And she talked about how her and her husband worked together at different seasons.
Right.
And depending on where she was in a particular season, he may have picked up more of the load in certain areas. And then it also flipped. Guys, we're a team.
Yep.
We're a team. And once we get the understanding that we can do more and accomplish more when we work together, then we can go.
What do you think the problem is? Like, why do you think, like for example, if a husband sees that something needs to be done around the house, what do you think is stopping them? Well, I'll tell you what I did when we first got married.
Okay.
I saw certain things modeled in my home.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that, my mother did most of the cooking. My dad, you know what I'm saying, he went out to work. But then my mother, she started working and cooking. So I saw it kind of modeled. You know what I'm saying?
I think
Model
it's
where
a variety. I think it's the models that we saw growing up. Sometimes it could be cultural expectations. And the thing of it is, one of my former coworkers said something so profound to me. And she talked about how she struggled early on with her kids. She used to be frustrated with her husband and all that kind of stuff. And the light bulb went off to her that she had to find what motherhood looked like for her. It was different from what it looks like for her mother.
Mm-hmm.
And I also heard former First Lady Michelle Obama talk about the same thing. She said you get frustrated because sometimes we have these expectations and we're expecting the other person to do this and do that. And when they don't, sometimes people don't notice.
Right.
I had to realize that sometimes things that I was jumping in, and I was like, well, surely he'll just jump in. But he didn't necessarily notice.
I didn't notice.
So we have to have conversations.
Right.
We have to talk about things. We have to talk about expectations. Like you said, the models that we saw before, but sometimes our environments are different.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my husband said this to me very early on in our marriage. I grew up with a model, and my mother did a phenomenal job. But Saturday morning, she got the home together. I mean, she kept it together every day, but that was the day she dedicated. She was going to get up early.
Right.
She was going to wash clothes. The house was going to be clean. And I did and I was trying to live that model. And one day, I think I just, I was in the doctoral program and I just kind of hit a brick wall. And he told me, he said, I was going to see how long you were going to sit around and run yourself like that.
Yeah.
Why won't you get some help? And he had talked to me about it. But in my mind, my mama didn't have nobody come in there and help her. My grandma didn't have nobody. So they set this I can do it too, but not to point at my mom's life or my grandmother's life, but all of our dynamics were different.
Right.
And expectations were different. For example, the careers and the jobs that they had, when they left work, they left work.
Right.
Mine, the role that I have, it goes on into the evenings, it goes on into the weekends.
Right.
And so on and so forth. And so the light bulb went off. So I think it's a variety of things, expectations, conversations that need to be had. It's things that were modeled, all of those things, cultural differences.
And you got to be open to the tough conversation.
Yeah.
You got to be open to that tough conversation. So I learned,
Can I say this real quick? And I think sometimes from women, maybe not as much as men, sometimes I think it's better, but we beat ourselves up as if something's not right with me because I can't get all of this done. But we also live in a time, there are resources there. I always like to press that, God, show me what tools I have in my hand.
Right.
You don't have to do everything yourself from start to finish.
I asked Kim this question, we'll close it out right here. I said, It's amazing how so many other cultures are outpacing African-American cultures. And I was like, and light bulb went off into me this weekend, and I used to work for an Indian family. They help each other.
They have more of a village collectivism mentality.
But we were like that. But now, we're becoming so isolated, and we're trying to do it on our own. We're trying to make it on our own. And you're fighting the world by yourself.
It takes a village.
It takes everybody's help. My mother-in-law was here this weekend.
Lord
my mom was here this weekend, but my mom went to help my brother Jonathan. And my mother-in-law was here. Oh, it's just the fact of just being able to, hey, can you watch the kids while going over here? Or, picking up. I was running late to pick Dangle up from school on Friday. My mother-in-law got in the car and she was on her way to go get him. And it's amazing how other cultures, they've gotten on to this. We have to get that back.
They look at the unit. It's about
family unit.
It's about the group. It's not about each individual.
It's a family unit.
And together, when you work together, it uplifts everybody.
All right, guys, we'll be back with the word. We got an amazing word for you tonight. But that's a good conversation, I think.
I think so.
Dr. Kimberly Johnson has centered her life around the
All right. I put the wrong bumper in there.
It's okay. It's okay.
Revive, guys. Don't forget, December 14th.
McDonough, Georgia.
McDonough, Georgia. Make sure you register, guys.
Tell your friend, tell your cousin, tell your neighbor, tell your coworker.
And be a part of this. Guys, we got an amazing word for you tonight. We're going to talk about pressure.
But wait a minute. I need to, before we talk, well, there is a little pressure. I feel it through the computer screen.
Okay.
There's some people, some people that are near and dear to our heart. I love the cars.
Jonathan Carr.
I love the cars.
Cab. ASU, baby.
But I feel
ASU. You see what the trailer wearing?
I feel that Coach Cab's eyes are like burning on the back of my back. And I love ASU. I love the cars. But my roots are on the hill.
The roots are on the hill.
They're on the hill.
Yeah.
Mama went to the
hill. So this is where we divide today, guys.
Auntie went to the hill.
Those from Birmingham, Alabama,
Cousins
they know
went to the hill.
it is Magic City Classic Weekend, baby.
Yes.
Yeah, we will be in Birmingham for that event. We got to see the parade. My kids.
Daniel is on the best, so he's getting ready for the tuba.
Yes. He gonna be ready. Yeah. So we're excited about that.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but I want Jonathan Carr and Dr. Uri Carr to know that I've never wavered in my dedication.
His roots ain't on the hill.
see how she
got the
shirt on? House together. I ain't gonna say house together. House together. Let's get into the word. Good pressure.
Good pressure.
That's what we're gonna talk about. Good pressure versus bad pressure. Pressure in a marriage is inevitable. That's what we've been talking about for this
I almost
month.
Broke out in Shirley Caesar said the pressure's a lot.
So the pressure's like sing to weigh you down. And you don't know which way to turn. God is concerned. And he's working it out for you. See, sometimes when you go through prayer, you gotta listen to them kind of songs.
Yes.
You know.
Say sometimes you Shirley help you.
Sometimes Shirley break it off.
Shirley help you. You be like, yes, Lord. So, okay, good pressure. One of the things we talk about just from a physiological standpoint and a behavioral standpoint, there's a certain amount of pressure that is needed. Mm-hmm. There's a certain amount of pressure that kind of helps push you to do the things that you need to do, that gives you the adrenaline that you need to get things done. And so pressure in and of itself, in general, is not bad.
Right.
But then there is when there is so much pressure where you feel or so much stress that you feel that you're not able to handle it. You're not able to address it or deal with it. That can begin to have negative consequences, or you don't know where to lay those cares.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Yes. You don't know where to place it.
Right.
And then it begins to create other problems and issues in your life. So let's talk about the good pressures.
So before I get there, I want to talk about this because where this message came from, it said when pressure is applied. I got this from Michael Irvin. He was giving a motivational speech. And he said when pressure is applied, he said it makes the good people fold.
My Lord.
He said, but it makes the great focus.
I like that.
Do you want to be good or do you want to be
great?
In this day and hour, we see pressure.
Yeah.
I see it. Pressure is being applied. So are you going to fold or are you going to focus?
Yes.
That's what you got to do. Are you going to fold? Or are you going to focus? Let me give you an example of that.
Okay.
My wife just bought me this thing. It's called a pressure cooker.
Yes.
The pressure cooker, it's such an amazing invention. It takes stuff that would take you hours to cook. Mm-hmm. You put it in this pressure cooker, you seal that top, and when the pressure is applied in that pot, it comes out good. I did some what they call those little things?
Oxtails?
Oxtails, girl. There you go. I did some oxtails. Anybody know cook oxtails? It takes oxtail hours.
Uh-huh.
But in that pressure cooker, it was able to do it in just moments. Let me ask you a question. How are you handling the pressure? Are you folding or are you focused?
Is it causing you to zone in?
All right, what are you doing?
Is it causing you to dig in?
I remember, and this is what we're going to start the message at, because there were some times, man, we had some pressure.
Yeah.
I remember when my wife was pregnant with my second son, and
Michael Moo.
And she was just, oh my God, it was
Miserable.
It was tough.
Hurting.
It was tough.
Uncomfortable.
But at the same time that my wife was in labor,
Yeah.
I was taking my comprehensive exams for my master's degree.
Yeah.
You see, when pressure is applied, we're not telling you about something that we just pie in the sky. It makes the good fold, but it makes the great focus.
Yeah.
And so here I am. My wife was, really sick in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And just the pressure of all of that. And then I had to pass this comprehensive exam that was facing me right in my face.
Yeah.
And what was so bad, I remember when I went to go sit down to take the test.
It was one of those tests where you're not supposed to have any devices. I said, you need to tell them.
Right.
Your wife is in labor in the hospital. And you need to leave your phone that they just, but I got to be able to get in contact with you.
Yeah.
You tell them people. And he was like, I said, you tell them. And he told them.
I told him, hey,
I said,
listen,
you tell them.
I said, my wife is in labor as we speak. I said, I know I can't take my phone in here. I said, but hey,
I
is
can't
it
cut it off
anyway?
and be
I
gone
can't
for
cut it.
hours.
And they told me, the guy was nice enough. He allowed me. He watched my phone while I went and took.
That was before all them cheating scandals in Atlanta and everything. But
no, I was living in Alabama.
No, I'm saying, but you know how they cracked down on testing after all that went down.
Right.
Atlanta.
So let's talk about 10 things that good pressure can apply.
Okay.
Number one, it can pry growth.
Yeah, it can make you step out of your comfort zone.
Right.
It can make you step out of your comfort zone. It can make you rise higher because you see that there is another level to where you can go and what you can do.
Number two, it builds resilience. And this is the one I think that it has helped my wife and I the most. Do you know what resilience is? Resilience. It's that
bounce back.
It's that bounce back. It's the mental toughness.
Yeah.
Right? When everything in you wants to quit, when everything in you wants to break, the mental toughness to hold on to what God said in spite of. Resilience, you see? Because the pressures of life will push you into the divorce court. The pressures of life will cause you to say something in that moment that you really don't mean and you can't take it back. But when you...
I want to add to that. I'm sorry, when you was talking about the pressures of life pushing, because I saw something recently, a couple that I know, I won't go into much detail, like on Facebook, and this couple had been married for years and they always look so happy. And then I looked, and then the person was with somebody else. So they had gotten divorced and moved on. The pressures of life will push you out of each other's arms if you don't know how to handle that.
So I'm gonna give y'all some things that Kim and I do, because a lot of times people think that we don't have problems or we don't face no pressures or different things like that.
Pressure.
It's pressure. But here's what we do.
Kim and I, that little sweet shiny head. Sometimes you got to time out. You have to go to time out.
But there are 4 what we call 4 anchors.
Okay.
4 anchors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 4 anchors that we believe because that was going to be my point number 3. It builds resilience, but point number three was what pressure is supposed to do. It really is supposed to elevate your focus.
Wow.
Okay. And that's what a lot of times people, when pressure is applied to their life, they start looking around at the problem.
Yeah.
Right? And when you begin to do that, you begin to sink in the problem.
That's true.
And you begin to magnify the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You see, whatever you focus on the longest, it becomes the strongest.
Yes.
And so when pressure is applied to our life, there are 4 anchors.
Well, what you're focusing on is going to determine where you're going.
Right.
And I say this, I know y'all probably like, if she bring that swimming up one more time, but y'all, I'm working on it. Y'all don't take the swim lessons. Thank you. And so my swim instructor would tell me, because I couldn't figure out, sometimes I wouldn't stay afloat. I wouldn't. He said, he looked at me, he said, you're looking straight ahead. Or he'd tell me, he said, you're not looking. He said, where your head is, the rest of your body is going. So if your head is up, you're going down. Your body's not level. You gotta have your head down.
Your focus.
Exactly. So what are you looking at? And it was amazing because here I am. I was gonna have all these. I can't stay. He said, for off the top of your head, he said, you're looking in the wrong direction. As long as you're looking there, you'll never be able to do it effectively the way you're supposed to.
Now, one thing we don't. Here's our 4 anchors.
Okay.
Number 1, we do not listen to the noise.
I like that.
That's anchor number 1. Kim and I, we do not listen to the noise. What is the noise? People talking, right? That's noise. Stress, that's noise. Children chirping at you, that's noise. When you are in a fight for your dream, your goal, your marriage, your life,
health.
your children, your health, you cannot listen
to the noise.
To the noise.
You got to see what the word says.
You got to listen to what
about
God
your
says.
Situation.
Right.
Yes.
You got to listen to what God says. One of my favorite scriptures talks about when Elijah was in the cave, and this was all this noise came by the cave. He said, but he wasn't in that. And then the wind came by the cave and said he wasn't in that. And then something else came by the cave. He said he wasn't in that. He said, but then there was a still, small voice.
Yeah.
That anchor. So you got to, number 1, the anchor number one, refuse to listen to the noise.
Exactly.
Anchor number 2, I'm going to give you 4 anchors.
Okay.
That Kim and I, we always do this because we've been through some things. Guys, listen, my first year pastoring the church grew and then we went down to 6 people. 6. And of that 6, 1 was unborn. My son, he was unborn. And now in that 6, I'm counting myself. So 1, 2, and my unborn child, that's 3. That's 3 people. I hit all. That's 3 people. So the other 3 people was Pastor Nelson, his beautiful wife, Sumitra.
You know, we can adjust that because you got to count their kids. So and we had more.
Baby,
increase. That was 9. Wait a minute.
Y'all, I went through a church split. I went through people lying on me, and I could not reveal the truth because the people had told me in confidence. And now, regardless of what other pastors do, I believe what the word says. I walk by what the word says. I know what God is. People lied on us. Lied on us. We went through that. We were talking earlier in our earlier parts of the ministry. A pastor was hitting on my wife. Pressure. Guys, I'm just trying to show them all of the pressure situations that we've had to go through. We've went through some pressure situations, man. Repossession. You know, so people don't know what repossession is. That when the folk
then when they come pick it up.
Because you ain't pay for it.
Be like, can I get
They come get it.
You like, can I get my baby car seat? Can I have a car seat?
We went through when you got more month.
Then you got money. Oh, Lord.
Pressure.
Yeah.
But here's what we do. We don't listen to the noise. The enemy talking in your ear. That's not what you need to leave them. You was better by yourself. No, you weren't. You was a fool.
You need to end it.
You need to end it.
They'll do better without you.
Guys, I contemplated suicide. I was thinking, I went to take my life. Yeah. Because I was listening to the noise. I heard the noise of your failure. People joked about me. Listen, Kim and I lost everything in the ministry. One of my friends went in there, took pictures of my church, and showed them to people and said, "This is what you do."
Tornado and all that.
When you're not walking in obedience. Pressure. You got to
And you
refuse.
still got to go on. You still got to work.
Number two.
You still got to show up.
I think number two is a little bit more important than number one because
All
these
right,
are going
all
to
right.
be
What's number two?
number two. What's your why?
What's your why?
What's your why?
You got to hold on to your why. Can I add a story that I remember when I was in the doctoral program? Y'all, I can't even go into all the depths
Wow,
of it,
talk
but
about
it was
that,
tied. It was a journey, but it was also tied to my job. So if I didn't finish, I lost my job, health insurance, we had a baby, all those kinds of things. And I had to hold on to my why. And one of the whys was just a better quality of life for me and my family. And so I used to go for these rides. I know anybody that
And
knows
the word.
and the
The
word.
word that God gave you.
Word
Let me
God
tell you.
gave
Let me tell you how. Because people don't think you face the. My wife is the third African
I think
American
that's the third one in the
to
college.
graduate from this program.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of people that look like they're right there, they didn't graduate. But let me say this: when you're talking about what's your why, it was a struggle, and my wife's car was breaking down on me.
Yeah.
This guy walks up to her, a professor. See, that's what things changed now because I went there. Said this to one of my students. So I don't want to hear nothing else about your car.
Yeah.
Instead of working with her, being patient, one professor walked up and just threw a book and said, "You're a smart girl, figure it out."
Yeah.
We're talking about what we walk through.
Mm-hmm.
We walk through that. Pressure. But what's your why? Go ahead and finish.
What is your why? So no, I was just saying, but what helped me?
What's your why?
The word and my why.
What's your why?
I sometimes, and one of the things, anybody that knows me, I now my husband loves to dress. He's our fashion person for the house. He gets us all straight. He's always been just really well with putting things together. But I love a beautiful home. I've always loved nice homes. And so I remember when I would just drive through nice neighborhoods. Sometimes I park and walk. They thought I lived and people wave at me. And my why, with tears in my eyes, I was holding on to the word and I was like, okay, I'm doing this because I want better for us. Yeah. I'm doing this because I want better. I'm about to cry. I'm about to break down. I'm doing this. This is my why. Now go on back. You got to show back up again.
Number three.
Mm-hmm.
Number one.
Mm-hmm.
Don't listen to the noise. Number two.
What's your why?
These are our anchors. Number three. Who's waiting on you? And I'm going to explain that.
Oh, wow.
Who's waiting on you? When we started our ministry years ago, May
2005.
May 2005, but it was May 22nd. May 22nd, 2005, when we started our ministry. The word that came for our ministry was Jeremiah chapter 1. He said, before you was formed in your mother's womb, he said, I knew you.
Yeah.
Right? And he said, I called you to be a prophet
to the nations.
To a nation.
Yeah.
Okay? That's what our ministry is birthed out of, that scripture. He calls you to be a prophet to a nation. Let me ask you a question. Who's waiting on you? What nation
are you called to? We're all called to a nation.
You have to reach that nation.
My nation may not be the nation that you're called to, and that's okay. You know, sometimes that's the reason you have to be comfortable and confident in what God called you to do. His nation may not be your nation, your neighbor's nation, but there is a nation
of people
that will listen to you.
They're waiting.
There is a nation that's waiting on you.
They're waiting.
That others may not be able to reach, but you can reach them.
One of my favorite speakers says this: the richest place in the world is not the diamond mines in West Africa. He says not the oil fields in the Middle East. He said the richest place in the world is the cemetery. Because there,
so many dreams.
You'll find dreams never born.
Mm-hmm.
They died with the dream. And here's the sad part: that nation of people
who needed
that dream, needed that inspiration, needed that testimony, needed that book. What nation is waiting on you.
Wow.
There's a nation. There's a nation. And you can't stop until you complete the assignment and fulfill the nation. Number 4, and we'll be done with this one. Number four. Love conquers all. When pressure is applied to your life, you got to lean into the love.
Yeah, you do. You have to
You
lean
got
into
to
the love.
lean into the love. And we are a testimony that love
Conquers all.
conquers all. You got to focus on that. Your love will conquer. You got to say, let me put all this aside, because, and I was telling, I can't remember, I was telling somebody this the other day, because it was somebody I read that said, if you were to die, right, before your family
Post your obituary.
gets the obituary in their hand,
They've
at
already
the funeral,
posted your job.
they've already posted your job.
They recruit. Yeah.
So the people that is taking the biggest sacrifice
Is your family.
is your family. So you got to understand that love is more important than all of that. It's more important. It's important. So those are the 4 anchors that we lean into when pressure is applied to our life. We hold on to these 4 anchors. We hold on to them. We put our focus. When we say elevate our focus, that's what we elevate our focus at. Right there, we find out what's my why. Why am I with you? Because I got a whole bunch of people that's counting on me. I got a whole bunch of people that's watching me. I got people right now watching this video, and you know that you are about to quit, but don't give up on each other.
Exactly.
Because the dream is so much sweeter when you accomplish it together. Do I need to go through all these?
No, don't rush through them.
All right, that's it, guys. Real quick, right here. Let's go to Life 101. No, let's go to the let's talk about the conference. Revive. All right. Let me show you the bumper for the conference, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about the conference. Talk about how you can register for the conference, because we want you guys to register for the conference. Here's it.
Who is the tech person?
All right, guys, there it is. Revive. December the 14th, 2024. We'll be at the Homewood Suites. Please click the registration link on the flyer. And please be a part of this wonderful
I know you're going to talk about how to register, but out of curiosity, maybe you should. Why Revive? How did this come about? Why do you believe God gave you this vision?
Honey, that's a good question, because we met with the staff this week and we talked about that. And it was this summer. I was in my quiet time and I just heard the word revive. And a lot of times when the Lord speaks to me, it's like I'll just get one word, but it's kind of I understand
what God is saying.
You know what I'm saying? And so when you talk about revive, there's a huge testimony I shared with our team as we was planning this week. And I was telling them about, how this young man passed away. And he passed away simply because his life could have been saved if they would have had a defibrillator machine on the field and they would have revived him. But their failure to not have this defibrillation machine ultimately caused this young man's demise. I believe that there's so many marriages, so many lives, so many visions that are right there. I mean, like they're about to walk away from it and they just simply need to be revived. I believe that people's health are hanging in the balance, and it needs to be revived. They just need to. They need to be connected to a source that can pump life back into it, the marriage back into life. Your marriage can live. Listen. I'm passionate when it comes to this thing of the family. The family unit is under attack more than ever before. I see it. We're chasing things and we're not chasing each other anymore. We're chasing things and we're not chasing our children anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And your children are dwindling away. Your life is dwindling away. Your vision is dwindling away. You just need to really get your focus back and have that thing revived.
And sometimes by the time you look up, it's akin to sometimes you don't realize how much ground you've lost.
Right.
And then you look up and you're like, I don't even know how I got here.
Mm-hmm.
But God. Even if that's where you are right now, when you look up and you're like, how did I get here? How did this situation get here in my marriage? How did this situation get here with my kids? How does this situation get here in my health or my walk with God? Whatever it is. But God. But God. No matter where it is on that line, if you get it to Him and you let that revive process start, He can take you back to where you need to be.
Wow.
And take you further than where you were before.
It's almost like I was telling someone, because you won't be starting over.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be starting from
back.
experience.
Yes.
You'll be starting from experience.
Mm-hmm.
And so I believe God is going to revive your life.
I'm excited about that.
It's going to be a good.
I think it's so needed.
Yeah.
It's so needed. People need to be revived, refreshed, rejuvenated, a fresh anointing. It's needed.
Yeah.
The cares of, even if nothing bad.
Fresh anointing.
Don't worry about it. We won't have that. We
Fall
won't do that one.
on me.
No.
Did you just laugh at me?
Don't worry about it. People was like, I was in the process of registering, and I said, wait a minute.
Register, guys.
So but it's needed.
It's needed.
It's needed. It's needed.
It's needed.
So we hope that you come out and join us, be revived.
Revive. December 14th.
McDonough, Georgia, 2024.
Hampton Inn and Suites. Homewood, Lord.
Go,
Homewood Suites.
Go
Look at the flyer. It's on the flyer.
Don't listen to him for them December 14th. He got that part right. You go to the flyer. You go to the flyer.
God bless you guys. We'll see
have a
you
blessed week.
on next week. I keep hitting the wrong button.
Tech person, please.